Hello and welcome back to Marvel Puzzle Quest with me, P.I. McLeod, and here I am staring at, well, looking at day 3652 right in the face. But hey, coming up across another Spider-Ham cover pretty soon, 25 more CP, some decent stuff. The streak of neat 10-year anniversary rewards continues, but nothing quite like the 11 days of legendary tokens. We'll see what keeps going though. Okay, I'm not gonna hold my breath, but hey. I'm not losing anything, right? Right? What are we here for today? I would say we're here to crash some Titans. I think that's the whole point of it, and hence the name of the post, right? Anything to really note on here? I did get the request online from someone, and you know who you are, but to do a quick video, maybe an instructional, a basic tutorial, a how-to or all about Ascension. And I feel like that's a good idea. I mean, a lot of people have questions, have comments, and there's answers everywhere online. You don't have to look far, but it is still a confusing process. And really the main question on most people's mind about it is once you start to wrap your head around it, is it worth it? And, well, I'm going to say yes as a blanket rule, but hey, don't take my word for it just like this. I have an idea on how I'm going to show that to everyone. We'll do that on a video really soon, I promise. I have to gather some resources for this one because I want to make the math plain for everyone to see and how it'll work out. Because honestly, without the on-screen math, I think it is a little bit of a head scratcher, you know? Is it really worth it in the end? I'll show you guys. Anyways, Crashing Titans, right? We got two of them this week. I like it when it's a double. Well, I mean, it's double legendary tokens, right? But hey, we get to see a little bit more about the character and focus. That's, where I like it. First off, we get to go against 3-star Doc Ock. Oh, man. So way back in the MPQ day, like I don't know, almost 10 years ago, 3-star Dr. Octopus came to the game. And look at this guy, he's cheating with a 555. Ascension or no Ascension, that's cheating. Anyways, he came into the game at a nice ripe time, a time when special tiles were starting to become a little more common. And when I say special tiles, I mean strikes, attacks, protects. Luke Cage had been is about part of the game, and he makes that protect tile to start the game, and Iron Fist makes that attack tile when his turn starts. If there isn't one on the board, characters like that were starting to be more prevalent. Dakin, Wolverine, Bullseye, and that was the thing. That was passive increases or reductions in damage, and that was a big deal. And here comes Doc Ock with his black passive that says, hey, you match an enemy tile and we're gonna make friendly attack tile or attack tiles depending on your level of it, and that became a little bit of a threat. If you were going against special tile peoples, bring your own Doc Ock to the fight, and all of a sudden you could turn those tables really easily. And then there's this blue, which punished the enemy even more for using special tiles. It did a big old ton of tile swap, right? Like a bunch of swap everywhere, kind of like 3-star Loki's purple. And then for every enemy tile swapped in this manner, it got destroyed and dealt an amount of damage for it. Kind of like how Carnage does with his green destruction, but in this case it's a swap. And then finally his green was, well, meh. It was just basically like it's a team hit for some okay damage, and it did like a turn of stun and stole a green AP. It was kind of a mixed bag, and honestly the worst of the 3 powers. But it's something. It has a stun, so you can never really be too mad at it. Anyways, that was 3-star Doc Ock when he came out. He's nothing meta or crazy right now, but it is worth noting that he is your 3-star version of someone that can grief or annoy somebody for using special tiles. Anyways, let's get into it. We're going to, well, speak of the devil, we're using Carnage to go against him. Carnage has a whole nother set of abilities, and when 4-star Carnage came to MPQ, he shook things up a little bit. I don't know if you could say he made or break a meta, but he was definitely someone people focused on one way or the other. Either they hated fighting against him or even hated using him themselves because, well, he was one of the few characters that had abilities or attacks that actually hurt yourself. We had already been introduced to certain aspects like that with 3-star Hulk at the time, and it was and no one liked doing stuff that could hurt yourself, like Sentry. Sentry would do his Supernova, which could do some backlash damage, and no one really liked that at the time. Nowadays, people don't care as much because honestly, self-damage usually comes with a really big reward, and Carnage is no exception. What's up? Hey, what's up, Swish? Good to see you. Just talking about Crash the Titans. Thanks for joining. So, 4-star Carnage walked into the game with this really interesting black passive way back in the day. And back then, it was a big deal. It basically allowed you to make, well, let's put it at level 3 to see the minimum. You'd have at least 2 friendly attack tiles and 2 enemy attack tiles created every turn. The only time it stops is if there are fewer, if you got to 10 or more friendly special tiles, then that tile creation at the start of your turn stopped. But that's a lot of tiles every turn. If he was to constantly do this, that's 5 turns of tile creation before he'd stop. And, well, do the math. That's 4 tiles a turn. That's 20 special tiles out there. That's a lot of potential. People didn't see stuff like that in that sort of mass production. That's creeping up to level 5. 3 friendlies and 3 enemy tiles. It takes 3 turns, and you'll have 9 of each. You have 18 tiles created in just 3 turns. Whew. Carnage was doing things that people didn't know of before. Like this was unfathomable. And then you later on added Medusa, added Gamora, and you made a meta. Anyways, move on from there. Carnage rules just goes right with it like peanut butter and jelly. For 8 green, you can destroy 16 random tiles, and you deal extra damage for every special tile destroyed. It doesn't say friendly, it doesn't say enemy, every special tile. This is a great ability for just what he does alone, let alone nowadays with all the Polaris users out there. It's bound to get full of just juicy targets and just let his green rip through it, and it doesn't have a max. All 16 of those tiles could hit special tiles. Well, let's just say it does 1,000 damage per special, just to round it, right? That's 16,000 damage as a 4-star character for 8 green. You can't be mad at that. That's a really good value. Not to mention the board shake it causes. And then finally, Symbiote Scythes. It's probably the most lackluster of the 3, but it's still not bad if you know how to use it. This is not the sort of ability that a computer knows how to use as well, so just a word of caution. For 7 red, and I'll pump it up to level 10 here, so you can see, or level 5, Jesus. So you can see the full potential here. You deal some, decent damage to the target. For 7 red, for 8,900 is pretty good damage to enemy target. And then a lesser amount of damage to all the other enemies. It's not bad. But if your team has less than 10 red, he also deals that same damage to his allies. It's food for thought there. So most people will try to wait till you get 10 red before you fire this off. But hey, in a pinch, if you really need to get something done, you can fire it off for cheaper. So anyways, most people don't like to use this red. I, for one, do not. I put it down to level 3 and just don't use his red unless I don't know if I really need to for some reason. Anyways, that's Carnage in a nutshell. Most people would use him because of his alien instincts, creating a lot of tiles per turn passively. And then, of course, Polaris and other friends could have a lot of fun with that stuff. Nowadays, though, Carnage really, really, really is afraid of Gore. Gore always shuts that down every time. Poor Cletus. Anyways, let's rip. Let's get into it, right? Carnage versus 3-star Doc Ock, who's cheating, I want to remind you, with a 5-5-5 build. And because it's one-on-one fights, we got to turn on those animations. So if you're playing them, you really just need green and black. And ironically, Doc Ock likes green as well. Remember, his black is a passive. So you're not really caring about the blue, although you probably should. It's going to hurt you a lot if he hits with it. But if you could take the green, at least you're not suffering a stun. And at the same time, you can use the green. So I will take this red as well. So now I can let it rip. Now, since this is a one-on-one fight, it's got to be stated that, hey, that symbiote sides is really good at 7 AP because, well, I have no allies to really worry about. This is a clean move for 7 AP. Don't have to worry about any blowback. I could match that black, but that'd be pointless. I think I'll match this blue because I don't want him using it. Besides, if he matches a friendly tile of mine, you know, all of a sudden he's going to make more attack tiles out of it. We don't want that to happen. Uh-oh. A little bit of a buffering problem. There we go. My stream was having a buffer problem, I think. What's up, Dark? How you doing, man? Good to see you. And there goes Doc Ock by 4-star Carnage. Not a bad win. Now that we know how Carnage works, let's see who he's going against next. Did you use the word crash on purpose? I think you did, Dark. No. I think it's fine. I don't know. I feel like I should be fine, but whatever. I'm getting a new internet connection within like a day or two, so we'll see what that does for me. Crash the Titans against Jean Grey. It's kind of odd that they put Carnage against her. I don't think it's a good guy versus bad guy sort of vibe. I think it's more for the fact that Carnage, with his green, can do a lot of board shake. And if you get an accidental or purposeful match 5, Jean Grey is going to punish you. You've had a few stutters in a stream, Swish. Okay, good to know, man. Thanks for the info on that. I appreciate it. Jean Grey came into Marvel Puzzle Quest as a major threat in some ways because she basically said, "Hey, if you're gonna make a match 5 or better, I'm gonna stun your whole imposing team for a couple turns, not just one turn, and cause some damage along with it, and I'm gonna generate AP." And it was just a big headache. And then her green and purple, while they are pricey, they're also big team hits. One of them makes friendly tiles, the other one eliminates enemy tiles. It's a big headache of a character to go against. And there's an MPQ, like, I want to say a myth about her, but it's honestly, it happens so often I find a hard time calling it a myth either. It's that whenever you start a match against waiting for you, taunting you, asking you to make that match just so you could fall into Jean Grey's passive. Ugh. If it's there, I will do it purposely just to prove the point. But hey, let's go for it. Okay, Cletus, let's use a health kit just because, and let's run. Would you look at that? It's not there. What's that, Dark? Trying to do this stupid last note and Lucid Wanderings for CP, which they will not give me. So irritating. Let me talk about that with you in a second, bud. Look at this. Jean Grey. Oh, match 5. There's always a match 5 when starting against Jean Grey. I swear it's almost always there. I say almost, so maybe this is one of those times that it's not. Wow. I'm astonished. I'll make this match here. There we go. She'll take the red, which she can't use. Oh, but she got some green out of it, though. Okay, so Lucid Wanderings, Dark. Let me talk while I play here. So you're using Quake, I assume, right? Quake should be helping you get through that pretty well for the hue shift / phantasmal colors thing. Other than that, I don't know if there's many other character choices that would help you out. Because there's the shell game one, Phantasmal Colors, and the one where you have to match like the correct countdown, the countdown that says 10% damage. Like that's always the correct one. But I don't think there's any easier way to make this, well, easy. Quake just buys you a ton of time. You can't fail the Hue Shift / Phantasmal Colors when you have her equipped. You use Electro as well? I guess you're doubling down on it. I haven't had her do more than 1 damage to me with Quake. But I could see doubling down just for the sake of paranoia, maybe? Oh, it is still annoying. I won't fault you that. I have to say, when I go against, when I do those fights though, I just focus on 1 or 2 colors, and the rest of the colors I don't even try to remember. That was pretty easy. I think the fact that Jean Grey has a lesser health pool than Doc Ock, maybe? I don't even know if it is really lesser, but man, she went down simple enough. Honestly, just don't let Jean Grey get purple or green. Like, don't fall in her match 5s. She should fall pretty simply. If she cascades her way into a lot of purple and green, it might suck. But even then, you know, it's not going to be that much of a headache at the end of the day. What's that? Still irritating is the shell game is hard even when you know where it is when you can't get to it. Yeah, the shell game can be hard. It is a huge time sink, though. I can't argue that at all. Oh, man. Wait, lost? Like... Oh, you mean for the shell game? Oh, man, that stinks. Because that would be the only way you could lose on that one, is like letting the 10-turn countdown hit 0. Man, I wish I could suggest something else on that. Really, I just try to be really clever with my match 4s and like setting up chains and cascades to clear a lot of damage, a lot of stuff away from where I believe the shell game target is. All right. But that's it for me here. I just have the 2 crashes. We've done those. That's Crash of the Titans, or Crashes of the Titan for Cletus Cassidy, aka 4-star Carnage. We're all set there. Like I said, I'm going to be running really soon a All About Ascension video at some point soon in the future. Might be this week. I'm not sure offhand. I do know this much to be true, though. They are planning on running the Quandary boss event here coming up. So, batten down the hatches, get ready for a storm. We're going to hit Quandary again. So, hey, if you like 4-star and 5-star covers, I'd get on it. I mean, I do. It's okay, man. It was a quick stream. It's just to Crash the Titans. We're all good, man. I can't do hour-long ones all the time. It's all good. I'll talk to you later, though. Thank you both, Swish and Dark, for joining the stream, and I appreciate it. I'll talk to y'all later. Good night.